Legend of Total War here, and today we're doing another Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign review, this time covering Village the Curseling. So Village is a Tzeentch-focused Warriors of Chaos faction that starts off near the Red Fortress. Now this settlement here is possibly the safest start position to have in the game, because it is possibly the most isolated. It is in a corner of the map in the northeast side. It takes a very long time to get from the next closest settlement over to the Red Fortress. So yeah, this is a very safe region if you're looking for a particularly easy start position where you have a good chance of just not being defeated, then this is a good choice for you. But it does limit your conquest options. You've basically got a choice between going west or going south, because you can't enter the sea through here, and you can't jump over this chasm, this river here. You can't jump over it. You have to go through the gate before you can use the jump stance again. So in terms of his faction effects, I think they're a little bit on the weak side as well. So vassals gain, Tzeentch benefits. Has access to Changing of the Ways. We'll talk about that in a minute. Forces receive benefits for having high winds of magic. Those benefits are pretty soft. Tzeentch Authority +1 is not a big deal because it's very easy to get 10 Tzeentch Authority in the first place. So it's just not very potent. Unit experience gain +20% for Tzeentch units. That's okay, but not particularly potent. It's not bad. It's just not particularly strong either. Converts a portion of own battle casualties into souls. This is not particularly strong because you're going up against Cathay, the early stage of the game. There's plenty of souls to be gained normally through that. So you just don't need to be suffering your own casualties to get that. You'll have plenty of souls. So these are all fairly passive, at least the ones that I mentioned there. It's just not particularly potent. And then you've got these Changing of the Ways here, and this is significantly weaker than what Kairos is able to do. Whereas, Festus is able to essentially inherit the entirety of Kugath's plague mechanic. Village doesn't. That being said, the Plague Cauldron is nowhere near as strong as Kairos's Changing of the Ways ability, which can be akin to cheat codes. So talking briefly about these, I don't think these are particularly potent, but revealing faction intentions just create blue lines, letting you know what they want to do, not necessarily what they're going to do. Draining magic, does what it says it's going to do, drains their magic. Useful against spellcasters. Reveal Shroud, gets rid of Fog of War. Easy to understand that one. Spawnify is an interesting one. You can add up to 3 Chaos Spawns to any army. Why you would put it into an enemy army is weird, costing 250 souls and 15 turn cooldown. That one's fairly useful. This one here, I think a lot of people will like Muddled Minds. I hear a lot of people complaining about having to chase down enemies. Muddled Minds reduces the movement range of their army by 35%. So if you're trying to trace someone down, use Muddled Minds, and they're not going to be able to outrun you any longer. And then Break Alliance obviously has very good uses, but you're not going to get that until way later on in the campaign, because that tech there unlocks it. It takes a while to get to it. But aside from having weak campaign effects, Village himself is extremely powerful. One of the most powerful characters in the game. So one thing that you could do if you're looking to play as Village, and you don't really want these kind of semi-weak faction effects, is play as a Warriors of Chaos faction that's able to confederate him, such as Be'lakor, and then just come over here and confederate him. Because yeah, Village is an extremely powerful character that's able to basically regenerate his barrier constantly through various effects and his item. So a very powerful character, very interesting character for sure. So when you're playing a Village the Curseling campaign, you really want to be playing as much as possible with Village the Curseling himself. So it's one that you really want to be involved with in battles and boosting the barrier of all of your armies, of all of the units in the army, I mean. So very useful character. But in terms of how interesting this particular campaign is, I'd say it's like moderate. It's not like a bad campaign. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it's alright. But personally, if I want to play as Village, what I will do is I'll play as Be'lakor or Archaon and just confederate him. In terms of the sweet spot for difficulty, honestly, Legendary seems fine because you just got such a safe position, but it's entirely up to you. I don't really recommend playing on the super easy difficulties. Probably hard, very hard, and Legendary is the sweet spot for an enjoyable campaign with this one. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Let me know in the comments below which Legendary Lord you'd like me to cover next. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.